That noise, what's that racket?
That's the press, baby. The press.
This is Californian Radio on Kern Radio News Talk 1180. To be a part of the show, call 842-KERN. That's 842-5376 or 1-800-640-KERN. The newspaper that has been covering Bakersfield and Kern County for over a century is on the radio. Now, here are Bakersfield, Californian opinion editor Robert Price and Kern's Jeff Lamucci on Kern Radio News Talk 1180.
Hello, everybody. It's Tuesday. Good to have you aboard today. Robert Price is your host extraordinaire. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well. How are you, sir?
Not too bad.
Nice job on the news just then.
Why, thank you.
That's the first time I think I've seen you. I guess I've heard you do the news. The first time I've seen you do the news.
You didn't watch me on 29, huh?
Okay, I take that back. It's not the first time I've seen you do the news.
This is TV without the pictures.
Right.
Yeah, which radio is just, or TV is radio with pictures.
You're good looking enough to continue to be doing the news on TV. And you know what?
Well, isn't that nice of you to say?
Are we going to add some cameras at some
curtains
point?
or something?
Yeah,
I think we are supposed to add cameras to this to the booth.
I heard that was coming soon, and
yeah,
that was a long time ago.
Yeah. Well, maybe we put it in the same category as the radio studio at the Californian.
Yes, right, exactly. And I've started brushing my hair and brushing my teeth in anticipation that I'd come in one day and there'd be cameras. And I brush my hair for nothing.
That's going to change the dynamic of the show. You know that.
Yeah, it will.
We won't be able to have our regular, usual off-air banter. Well, people won't be able to hear what we're saying.
Yeah, so we still can.
But we can't gesticulate.
Yeah. There was some good off-air banter before this segment, too. So we'll have to make sure we don't have any microphone, live mic issues.
Yeah, well, Hop's pretty good at that. He keeps the mics off when they're supposed to be off, and here he goes. He's going to turn it on now. Here you go.
I record secretly, so
do you?
you'll never know what I have.
Nice.
There's always tape running.
Good to know.
I think you're onto something there, my friend.
Oh yeah. There's good stuff to be had in those off moments.
You say that with tongue in cheek, but there's more truth to that than we would like to imagine.
Ask what was the latest live mic thing? We had Barack Obama talking to the Russian premier about wait till after the election so that we can.
Yeah, have a little more.
So we can surrender.
Have more freedom or something.
Yeah.
Or when Ronald Reagan said something about, we're going to blow the Ruskies up. Push the button or something. What was it?
The bombs are coming.
The bombs are. Well, Mr. Gorbachev, take down your pants. Oops, I'm sorry. That's the wrong speech.
I started to do that shtick there, and I realized that's yours. I can't.
No, go ahead. You
just did it. You covered it. You nailed it.
Yeah,
you got the Ronald Reagan, and of course, Eric. Have you got any impersonations, by the way?
7 years. Oh, that's the wrong speech.
Yeah. We're with Eric Parker, who's well on his way to unseating Congressman Kevin McCarthy, who's now going to be governing the 23rd district. I guess we could talk about what our show is today.
Yeah, I think that'd be a good idea.
We probably should get around to that rather than kind of sneaking in the back door like I just did. We've got two of the three individuals running for the 23rd congressional district. The one we don't have, but we hope to have soon, is, of course, the incumbent Kevin McCarthy. But we've got Eric Parker from Mojave, who's challenging Kevin McCarthy. And a little bit later, we will have Terry Phillips, who's challenging Kevin McCarthy. And I guess he's challenging Eric Parker, too.
Yeah. Should be an interesting race.
Yeah.
I think Kevin McCarthy's in the paper today. I saw his picture. Did you read it?
I did. Yeah. He's had a tough time there with the freshmen. They came in the surge of Republican majority, and they're not cooperating, or they haven't been cooperating with the Republican leadership as well as they had hoped.
Time to crack the whip, Kevin?
Yes, indeed it is. Well, Eric, welcome. I got to ask you about that crack that you made about me earlier, though. We're talking about how long we'd been married, and I revealed that I'd been married considerably longer, and Eric says, "Well, how old are you?" And I realized, I just now realized, well, wait a minute, what does that mean exactly? But anyway.
What does it mean? It means how old are you?
The older the violin, the sweeter the music.
Okay, all right.
Wow.
That was a good follow. We both got beards, and mine is a couple, 3 shades lighter. So I guess I gave myself away.
Gray, my friend.
Hair club for men.
Hair club for men. Well, Eric, why on earth would you want to run against the number 3 guy in the Republican leadership, well known in this district, very well known, been around for years and years and years? Why would you do this?
Well, if you were running for any office, wouldn't you want to go where the most problems are?
Good
I
one.
mean, a poor working guy like me has one shot. My wife will not let me spend any more money ever again. So, and I'm only spending my money. So if I'm going to go as high as I can to fix as much as I can for as long as I can. And Congress is where it all starts, and Congress is where all the problems end up congesting, and that's what I decided to do.
Well, at first when you said you go where all the problems are, I thought you were talking about the 23rd district, this part of California. What kind of problems do we have? Unemployment being one. What would you do about the unemployment problem?
Unemployment problem, there's 2 or 3 things that you can do with unemployment. First thing, you have to stop outsourcing the jobs. So, if you could negotiate with the Fed, if you could push the Fed to start offering bank rate loans to small businesses, to startups, to even students for their loans, you would give them a head up on the competition, and they would be able to stay in this city, stay in this state, stay in this country even. Second thing, you could put, the unemployment agencies now, people follow the line of least resistance. Now with the debit cards that are automatically loaded, everything, you need to be able to create job interviews. So what you can do is you can turn the unemployment agencies into employment agencies and have a division of them that sets up interviews, that the person who's looking for a job has to go on, is accountable for what he does and what he says, and if he succeeds in that interview or not. And also, part of that agency could call on the employer and ask them why this employee wasn't hired, how come. If everybody was accountable, I think you'd have a lot more people being hired.
Mm-hmm. How are you running your campaign right now on very little money?
Very low money, $1,000 of my own funds.
And you're working. You have a job, a real job.
Full-time working. I manage 2 independent auto parts stores in the San Fernando Valley. I commute 88 miles every day, each way. Luckily, I have a company truck and a company gas card. But other than that, that's one of my only perks. Mm-hmm. And on the weekends with my father, because he's retired. He's 81 years old, but he's still going strong.
And he's your campaign manager.
He is.
Has he ever managed a campaign before?
No.
Okay. So, and you have to schedule things like radio interviews and editorial board meetings, which you're having today at the Californian, you and Terry. You got to schedule around your work schedule.
Well, the store is open 7 days a week, so luckily I'm off on Mondays and Tuesdays. And luckily that we're having this interview on Tuesday.
You were saying off air before we started the show that congressmen and incumbents should... it's not fair that they can campaign on the public dime. I mean, your opponent Kevin McCarthy he's working on the people's business, but he's also helping with campaigns, his own campaign, others' campaign. What's your take on that?
Well, I agree. I mean, my boss doesn't pay me to be at work and be campaigning. I have to take time off from work. Next month, me and my dad are going to go take my vacation time and go up north to the northern part of our district. The district is very vast. It encompasses anywhere from Lancaster all the way up past Porterville and all the way west to Taft and all the way east to Ridgecrest. So it's a huge district. And to get to there, I have to take time off. Yeah. And my boss is not going to pay me to go. So I have to take my own time, my own money, and do it. And I think congressmen that are running for president, I think presidents that are running for re-election, I think anybody who's running for office should take leave of absences, should do it on their own time, do it on their vacation time. Other than that, what are we paying them for to do a job that they're not there doing?
The thing is, the only problem with that is that congressional seats come open every 2 years.
Yeah.
And it's like it's a never-ending campaign. It's if they had to take time off, they'd have like about a month in August.
Well, that's a problem with money in politics, and that is one of the things that I want to go and get out of politics. I want to lead by example. I want to force them. I want to shame them. I want to do whatever I can do to show them that you don't have to be representing only the money. Kevin McCarthy has $2.5 million in his campaign fund. We have 700,000 people in this district. If everybody gave him $3.50, that's $2.5 million. I'm
going to trust you on the math because I have no idea.
It's close, trust me. I don't think everybody gave him $3.50. So who is he representing with that $2.5 million? Obviously not the people in the 23rd District.
Yeah. So you've never held elected office before?
Never held elected office before.
So people are going to look at you and say, well, he's got a beard, for one thing. It is a nice beard, I will say that, but he's got a beard. Politicians don't have beards.
Well, Lincoln was a good one. Last time I checked, they made him a statue.
That's true. And he had a pretty good ball of hair on his chin. How are you qualified to be a congressman?
Well, the qualifications to be a congressman, unfortunately, are not very hard. You have to be 25 years old, you have to live in the district for 10 years, and you have to be an American citizen. So I'm qualified.
Well, what kind of track record do you have that would lead people to think, you know what, I think this guy could do the job?
Well, I think the problem with the incumbents is they have a false sense of security. They get in there, they take money, they do whatever, they lose track of what the average everyday working man goes through. And when you do that, you alienate the mass population of your district. You know, everybody in there has a law degree. When they write a bill in Congress, you need a law degree just to read it. You know, that does not represent the district. I would be willing to bet that 90% of the people in my district do not have a law degree. And I would be willing to bet that 90% of the people in Congress do. So are they representing the people in their district, or are they representing themselves? Not that I'm saying that you shouldn't have the best and the brightest in Congress. I do. I agree with that. But you should also have some regular, average, everyday working people that can bring what they're feeling on an everyday basis into Congress.
Let's come back to that in just a second here.
All right, we'll take a break. We're talking with Eric Parker, and coming along shortly, Terry Phillips. These are two gentlemen that want to be your next congressman from the 23rd District, and upseat Republican incumbent Kevin McCarthy. It's the Tuesday edition of Californian Radio, 842-KERN, 842-5376, or 1-800-640-KERN. We'd love to hear from you if you have a question for Eric or later for Terry. Don't go away. It's Californian Radio. We'll be right back.
Kern Radio News Talk 1180 is your home for Californian radio with the award-winning journalists from the Bakersfield Californian.
Are you throwing money out the window? If your windows are old and drafty, the answer is probably yes. Our vinyl replacement windows will keep your home warmer all winter.